stay in that lake we were fishing morning. They stay in there until they're 2 years old. And then they go out of that lake into the next one and stay there till they're about 4.5 to 5 years old. And that's the reason why you can get much bigger fish out of the second lake down than you can in where we were fishing. And they constantly, they hatch them on the upper end of that lake. They got a big hatchery there, and they truckle the fish up. They net them in the Skagit, and they truck the fish to the fish hatchery and milk them, and then have them plant them, and then they go through their cycle. And they go to salt water, and when they come back, what does make it back, they've got, they're up to 10 to 15 pound fish. And we can catch them, we can get some of them out of the river as they come back to do their spawning. But these are pink meated fish, and Dorothy, she won't eat them, the pink meat, but she will eat all the white meat that you can get their hands on. My dog, she's a lady here, sitting here at my side and getting all the scrap from me. When I get my belly full, then I'll feed her. We'll be going back up maybe tomorrow. If Johnny and Darrell wants to go up, we might go back up tomorrow, but it wasn't that good of fishing today, as clear as it is. When it's so cold or windy that you can't even stay on the lake hardly, that's when they bite good. But I like to fish that way. Get a bite every now and then, and it keeps you occupied. But if you go up there and catch all of them in 15 minutes, well, that's not as much fun as fishing a length of time for it. Old girl box come in. She first called us frying the fish in here. She didn't know why I fried the fish in here. I told her I got cold, I was hungry. This is the first I've eaten today. Oh, I had some coffee with me this morning. You see anybody down there that you like better than yourself?
No, I didn't.
How come you didn't? If you'd looked, you could have.
I'll tell you what's the goddamn truth. My arm is killing me.
Now where are you going?
Dude, I started it.
Fighting far between, put it that way. Birds, you can catch them, and you drop them into the damn lake.
Did you get your slab?
I got a bottle in it, you only got 4.
What's this for?
Trailer.
Trailer?
Boat trailer.
I tell you something. When you retire, it's gonna have to give.
Like you.
Well, that's fine. I can always come up with somebody to have me.
Might go down and get one of them hippies and take care of you.
No, I can get somebody besides a hippie. Lots of money.
Oh, yeah. Well, now, if you go get somebody who's got a lot of money, why, we'll divorce today. Then after he dies, well, then you can come back to me.
What? What do you do?
It's probably tore up.
You cut it on that goddamn...
Right here.
That's not funny. That's not a bit funny. Turn it on!
What? There you know what?
I want that TV on.
Okay. What do you wait on you on 5? You know you've been taped? Here we go again this morning. Getting ready to go up fishing. It's 5 minutes after 4 in the morning. Yesterday she turned out real hot, so maybe I'll fish a while and get back off the lake before it gets too hot. Trying to get somebody to go with me yesterday. Everybody had something to do, so me and my dog and the cook. See if I can get mess fish again. Been fishing here, what we caught him yesterday, about 2 hours or 3 hours, and we only got one fish, so I'm gonna head on up the lake here and see if we can find another spot where they're at. Daryl must have his limit. He's been catching more than anybody. Myself, I've only got 4. They're biting very slow. It's very poor fishing today. Well, there are plenty of fish, but they just won't bite. But we've got a nice day for it. The sun's shining. Warm. Actually, it's too warm. We're about 1/3 of the way up the lake, and the lake is 12 miles long, and it's Fishing ain't worth a damn today. I got enough for one bass this morning, but no good. Boat this week mine rocking the boat. You see all the people over here fishing. Nobody catching nothing. Some of her relation, Gertie Mae and Martha Bumgarner. Come on, Martha, look around here at me. Atta girl.
Oh, I'd like to see it. Oh, they're pretty. We went up to took some pictures of the mountain yesterday.
Just about daylight whenever she's pretty.
Yeah.
Here I am back home, got my frying pan going and get me another good mess of fish. Whenever I get ready to eat here, I'll show you what kind of good eating you are. Maybe you might get tired of looking at it, but I don't think so. My trick. See that?
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Little inside with a slider ball, one ball and one strike.
No.
Ray is hit safely now. It's 6 to the glass 7. That is to the glass 29 at bat. But average to 345.
Come on, damn dog. When I ask you to, come on over. Right.
Trying to call by
You got that.
home plate umpire Rick Lee. And now we're ready. Outfield straight away. Sunshine on a Saturday afternoon. We'll have an afternoon game tomorrow. Then it's down to Boston for a 3-game series against the Red Sox. And here this is 1-1 pitch. Quinones takes down low. Gets in for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Mother's Day coming up tomorrow. Hope you have your plans. Some flowers. A nice greeting to your mother.
Got a little wind blowing today, so we might have a little change in the weather. If it does, why the fish will bite better.
2 balls to the inside corner to count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What?
Lecture, Shelly went up there putting in a new bridge up there. Clear Creek, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere up in there. And
Information and no boy was raised up with. His Homer was buddies, and I don't know who but she's got a big envelope in front of her, and I can't get her picture, so I'll never know who she is. So we all growed up together and went to school together, and him and Homer was just like two brothers. Now we got neighbors over here, and Darrell and old Christopher going out to visit us on Mother's Day of '87. Christopher! Look over here, fella! Come on, Calvin, turn around here. This is a neighbor, Mary Ruth and Calvin Hudson. First time I've ever had a chance to get the picture. Calvin to hold an old Christopher.
Down,
He got one in there.
in hell. I'm bullshitting. You over here?
This is Mother's Day, and I got my little baby boy here with me, Donnie's boy, and just got back from aid call to the guy that was back in the picture here a ways, or film a little ways. He had a heart attack, and it's very doubtful when he's going to come through. So we've been working for the last 2 hours on him. An ambulance crew got there and they took over. But anyway, they hauled him in, and he got a very short breath. I don't know where he'll pull out of it when they get him to the hospital or not. But if he don't, he's lived a dang good life. And I hope if this happens to me, that they don't pull me out of it. I mean, I'd rather, you're just an infant after this happens, and they do pull you through it. But if it's hit or quick enough, or got a hold of quick enough, why, they can save it without too much damage. But he was out too long for it to him come out of it back like it normally was. This is what we got to that informed us of the aid calls and bar calls. We got the other.
He's taking film.
Come on, Patty, sit down here on the knee. Come on, Patty. They won't do it.
You got it on now? This is a roadie my darling husband bought me. It had 2 balloons on it. I don't know how many years ago. For Mother's Day.
Oh, it's not even recording. Go ahead and do your thing.
I just want you to get a picture of this roadie.
How about that one over next to the house?
Well, if you could.
This is Mother's Day of '87. Come on, talk a bunch. Damn, they don't know who you. They think you're a little old infant. Can't even talk.
I just talked.
You didn't talk that much and that loud.
Yes, I did, but you can hear me.
Very seldom you see her in a dress. I think I got to check her once in a while to see whether she's a man or a woman. Wears breeches constantly. This is the first time I've seen her in a dress, and I don't know when.
You try to remember somebody. You know, like when he came in here yesterday.
Mm.
You know, he's been looking then at me, and I could see the difference in his eyes. You know.
Dorothy just called Daryl a few minutes ago, and the old guy that we went for the aid call this morning, he didn't make it. So Dorothy's been a babysitting for about 5 or 6 years, on up babysitting, going over and doing his housework and this and that and the other. And he lived a good life, and she's tuck up with him, got acquainted with him, and think just as much of him as she does her mom or dad. And it makes a second one that she's house kept for and got attached to. And three that she's house kept for, and now they're gone. So she's taking it about as hard as it was her own dad. He told her at one time that he was going to leave her some money in his will. How much, I don't know. And but she took care of his wife until she died, house kept, and did divorce and everything, and now he's gone. He lived about 3 years longer than she did. And it's, the next is her mom. Her mom ain't the best in the world. And so she thinks of her mom, having to give her mom up, which that's the way of life. When it comes time for us to go, we'll go. So she ain't saying too much right now. We're going over to Granny's now to get some pictures of her. Dorothy's looking, seen Matt and them come back. So we're going over to take some pictures of her, and then up and try to get some pictures of another old guy before it's too late.
And I said, well, you gotta have 2 VCRs in order to tape it. And I said, it's not all that good. She said, everybody was doing it fine. Right, okay. Yeah. Well, she said it's late for the dinner. It's absolutely too heavy, she said. do?
Oh,
Sit
they-
and talk to yourself?
Yeah,
You sitting over at the table.
well, just tell them how much you love them, and you'd like for them to come, or you be able enough to go see them, and just stuff as that. Come on, talk, Dorothy.
I don't want to.
Well, this is going to Bonnie and Harry and them. And,
Well, they can look at it without me talking to them.
yeah, but it's much better whenever you talk to them.
Well, I'll just say hello to all of you. I ain't got nothing to talk about. Too hot to talk.
I'll tell you what, I'll get you mad like I did Dorothy yesterday, and then I'll get a conversation out of you. Now, boy, you
Yeah,
talk about
but
it,
I
some
don't
bitch
think
cuss
I'd
around,
say
we
what
had it.
Dorothy said.
She didn't know it's on. We just egging it on.
Took all of my hind end. Screwed my TV up, and I wanted to watch my soap opera, and I couldn't get the TV to go in. And, well, I got up, 4 or 5 o'clock. And God, I was so irritable. I don't get enough sleep. I get here. No, sir, I couldn't go ahead and talk along like he did on that boat or out there sitting there. He was sitting over at the table by himself, talking. Wasn't us sold in there. Then when he turned it back or something, he was eating his breakfast. And when he turned it back or done something to it, well, he just did it like this, eating. Just
Now you see there, I got a conversation out of it. You didn't know it. Oh, well. I know how to trick you, Granny.
Yeah. Oh, well. Well, what time does coffee get to work? Well, just all at once.
That's the way it gets you.
He just kind of went into bolts, like, and they said his eyes, like I already said. You said they got a little bit of response, but you never did
Oh, I got
know.
response, hell, we was there 2 hours,
Well,
and had response the whole time.
He lasted two hours after you got over there? I mean, he was still home?
It was, what was it? It was about a little after 12, wasn't it, when we went, and it was, after 2.
they worked on him, and see,
And then
what the
after he
thing
got
was, the ambulance had to come from Mount Vernon because there was a motorcycle wreck, and they had to, right at the same time, so the ambulance had to come from Mount Vernon. It takes pretty good time, but.
No, they were still down there, and the motorcycle and state patrol was still down there anyway.
And I thought I heard on the thing out there at Daryl's that, his back was broke.
Which took Trixie home and
Wow.
locked her up.
How come he's wrecked?
When you guys took off and Trixie was here to start to take off yesterday, me and Tracy went over. It kind of got scared, it's fine and everything, but she went over and was laying over there by your
Oh.
car.
That's how come her up then.
So me and Tracy took her. We thought it'd be best that, after you took off. So we just took her and put her in a lot.
Well, thanks, but,
Because she acts so scared,
when he gets in a hurry,
Come on, Granny, say
He
something.
didn't go over the top.
he didn't know, but I wished I had him, this morning when I had that, got up with him on my mind, and he hadn't been on my mind all day. And, I mixed grapes and fruit and stuff, and I was gonna make, fruit salad and taking a bowl of it, and these things
Damn, you like you had it.
There's always something you think you're going
Like
to
it did
do,
that
and you wait
far
till
haul.
it's too late.
Yeah, well,
God, I
Daryl
felt
said,
bad that day, gee whiz.
when you go over to Mom's, and,
Francis wants to turn yourself around.
I'm not good at
I'll get around in front of you then.
I'll give you some dessert if you cut that thing off.
It's all.
I'll give you some LBJ if you'll cut that thing off, you.
I just made,
Okay, this is Mother's Day of '87, and we're going to go from here on up to Albert Blanton's and try to get a picture of him and his wife. He's about 82, or no, he's older than that, didn't he?
Older than I am.
Well, anyway, we're going to get some pictures.
For dinner.
This big news convention?
Yeah.
You got that, boy?
Roast turkey.
But now he wants me natural.
Oh, sure, that's right.
yeah.
Be just like you're supposed to.
I don't think it's
Okay, I'm gonna tell where this is and the date, and then you just go ahead and have your evening together. This is on Mother's Day of '87 at Albert Blanton's. I've worked quite a few days with him and his boy both, and he's just a good friend of ours, and I wanted to get his picture, or their pictures, for future reviewing. Okay, how about
But nobody's gonna say
You
nothing.
heard what the man said.
Well, do so.
Now you come over here and sit down too, Judy.
I will.
and ask him a few questions.
Cap down there. Oh, I'll
Yeah.
put my glasses down there and the cap up here.
Oh,
Then forget your glasses.
are you doing anything to for the county?
Not a thing in the world.
I was gonna tell you, that thing's on, so don't lie now.
I'm just there for the day's work, day's pay.
Pay, there you go.
Instead of day's work.
When you gonna
Well, you're not the only one.
13 months and 19 days from today.
That's
Got
gonna
a-
be
got a
around
number,
the county,
don't
too.
Yeah, I got a number. If you don't mind, Albert, I'd like you to give us, if you don't care to, mention your age and how long you've been married and your family. And one of these days, somebody will be looking at this and well, there's Grandpa and Grandma on there, maybe. I was talking to a guy the other day. It's Leo Franks. We went down to the church house to have supper with Bud and Maxine, and he recognized my face, but he forgot my name, and I did him the same thing.
Yeah.
And he is 72 now. I didn't think he was that old when he retired, or when he left. We worked at the cement plant, but he said that he was in Oregon and went into this rest area, and somebody seen he had a Cedar Willie tab on his vehicle, or no, he gave his address as Cedar Willie, and he said, "Hey, you wouldn't know the Blantons, would you?" And it must have been one of your boys.
Grandson.
Our grandson.
I've got a boy that lives in Bend, Oregon.
He was down there in Oregon somewhere.
And he's got two boys.
He was taking care of the this camp area, you know.
Probably Mike.
Bud
And, so he
It
promised that guy that he would come and visit you guys. Boy, he looks old. He failed the fastest of anybody that I've seen
Who'd
retarded.
you say it was?
Leo Franks, not Leo Franks, the welder at the cement plant.
Oh, that Dutchman?
No, not, wasn't Leo Franks either. Leo something.
Well, I know Leo used to be a welder up there, but he's dead.
Leo Edwards.
Edwards, Leo Edwards, but he's dead. He's been dead a long time.
Let's see.
There's
No, I didn't think he told me his name, and I didn't think I'd put it.
there was a Lane.
Joe Lang.
Joe
Joe
Lang.
Lang.
That's
Joe
what I'm
Lang.
trying to think of. He used
Instead
to
of
be
Leo,
well.
it's Joe Lang.
He's getting pretty old.
Yeah, he's 72, but boy, he looked like he's 92.
Well, if I live till the 21st day of August of this year, I'll be 85.
And you've been married how long?
13
You be careful not talk none.
She ain't even saying a
I
word.
bet you talk about her talking yesterday. I picked her out when she come back to town. I sat in there frying me a big pan full of fish. and I picked the row out of her, and I never heard talking in all my
And
life.
the machine is going.
Like she didn't even know it all.
Oh.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, it's just like you said, you can have lots of fun with it, and you can, it'll bring back lots of memories too.
Yeah, just the other day, I got a good conversation with Wallace,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we don't know. Heck, I might go tomorrow where that goes.
yeah. We
But,
never know.
It's something that somebody, maybe myself, I hope to review it for a long time to come.
May I not, I don't know anything about your life, nothing all the time, but I'd like to drop a remark there. As, just like you said, we never know when. The thing is to be prepared. And that's something for us to think about.
Yeah, that's true, Albert.
And like I say, I don't know about the spiritual statue. I guess that would be the right word for it. I know one thing. I know I've lost my voice. I can't hardly get the words together. I like to fellow went on television talking about getting his words tangled up. He said he thought he had them straightened out till he let them loose.
Yeah.
When it gets straightened out, he messed that whole thing up.
We got some friends east of the mountains, and he was a cattle rancher. He rode them mountains, all the mountains, come back into the forsaken wilderness for years and years. And the year that he retired, a stroke hit him.
Yeah.
So his mouth dropped way down here, and he just holed up, wouldn't talk to nobody. Nobody could get a word out of him. And he reminded me so much of my dad that I just kept pushing myself on him and going in and having conversations with him and pulling him right back out of it.
Yeah.
And his wife, she said, I'll never forget this. Forget you of what you did for him.
Yeah.
He was just ashamed of, he'd have to speak a word try it 3 or 4 times, but he kept working that dead spot till he got it back where he can hold a good conversation with anybody.
Yeah, it's possible that we can just give up too quick.
Yeah. So this is, I've been intending to come up here for, ever since I got the camera, to get their pictures before it is too late for me to come or me to see them. Park Baker Lake on May the 14th of '87. And we're getting ready to go out and see if we can find us a mess fish. And I was going to camp this weekend on the head of the Baker here and go into the upper end of the Baker and see if we can get in to get a picture of the big fir cedar too. But this storm come in, and I've got my insulated clothes on. You can see the clouds in the background, So we'll get in the water here and see if we can get us a fish going. We're looking at the upper end of the lake now. We're about 3/4 of the way up from where we was last weekend. And you'll see the boats in the background, That's where we're headed for. And hopefully we can get us some best fish this evening. Off now on where we were the other day. And I got the most prettiest thing that anybody could ever look at in the boat here with me this evening. I don't know whether he's gonna catch a fish or not. Sitting there licking his chops just like he starves to death.
Just about it.
I've been here for the last hour and haven't Murd caught one and had a couple more bites. So we're gonna go on up the upper end of the lake, right into the underneath that fog you see on there. See what we can do. We're at the upper end of the lake now, and the fish haven't started biting, and that's the upper end of the lake, right in there. And there's a trail that takes off. We was going to go there this weekend. This storm come in. We got miles of walking to do on trails into the big timber. I hope to get some fish here in a bit on to get some pictures of it. And this is what they call Noisy Creek. The creek comes right down out of that canyon there, year round.
Lost, isn't it?
Here's old Murg, he's getting one in here now. See what nice fish you are?
Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, they've just now started biting. They've just now started biting, and so we've got to get at them here and try to get us some mess of them while they are biting. I think I've got about 5, and Murd got 3 or 4. I got one on here. Well, get your pole out of my way. Oh, those are some nice fish. Murd's having a hell of a time hooking them here. They're biting just like the son of a bitch. I'll leave this on for a minute here and you can watch him. Isn't that him cuss for missing? Watch him bite.
Well, they're biting. It just bites.
I'm using steelhead eggs and he's using maggots. See why he's biting my pole? Maybe I ought to turn his head here in a minute. Our Murd got one. I missed mine. There's like 5 more to go to our limit. Oh, I missed him right there. He's biting just like crazy. We're only in about 40 foot of water, and they're only about the length of your pole down. See how the biting Murd? See there, he caught one.
Lose that and can't we?
Nope, that's nice. Them are nice fish.
Up to you know it?
Yeah. Well, these salmon, or these type fish, you take and can them, and they're better than any tuna fish that you can buy.
Any more here?
What would make this picture taking better is to have somebody in the boat that that won't fish and zero in on the person and the fishing too. But this is enjoyable. I think you'll enjoy it a whole lot. You see him a biting mine here now. Oh, I missed it. Word, he's got the jinx on me now. I was way ahead of him, and now he's caught up with me. Look at that, look at that.
You just said nothing, I got it. Shit, boy.
Get them two up on the boat there for the rock.
I'm getting them out of the river first.
They can take and put them in a pint jar and cook them for about 4 hours. You still got a wrap around your pole.
How come that? Well, you know, this guy went all there. Let's go.
There you go. Look, he got it. There, look at that. Look at that. He got him a going. Boy, that's a nice one. 3 more. To her limit. After you hit them and get them to biting, it don't take you long to get your limit of fish. Here's a pearl plier. I come out here with heavy clothes on thinking it was going to storm this evening, and so I'm burnt up right now. The sun's come out and I'm burnt up. Get that fish up out of the bottom of the boat.
Don't make bites like we got.
Son of a bitch, I can't do nothing but miss them. And I got a single leg hooks on too. He's gonna pass me up here just in a minute. Make him big shit whenever he catching more fish than anybody else. Yeah, he spent all of his life at doing things for other people for $1.75 to $1 an hour. Never could get him go fishing until I got him out. He said, "Oh, I ain't gonna get on that old boat. It'll sink with you." Hog-tied him more or less and got him out, and now I can't knock him out of the boat. But he's a fishing partner, and I'm glad for him to go with me. Well, I'm the son of a bitch. It looks like you're going to have to catch them all, Merg. I can't catch them. They're eating me up, but I can't catch them.
I just 30 minutes by that. Just now.
2 more fish.
How many?
2 more.
Oh, shit, more than that now. Now, you counted it all one time now. What you doing now?
6 and 6 is 14. That's how many we got.
These things turn red, Hubert. You know?
Yes, it's a froze. You watch that son of a bitch. It won't even get down halfway till they start biting it. Watch it, he's already biting it.
Are they biting it now? Bite now.
Where'd that head go? I got that food. Let's change this. Probably reading, they started biting. Old Mount Baker is showing up back here behind us. You can see her in the snow yonder, in the clouds. And we had her limit. So he said, well, I got to get them hook clean. So he's been still jerking her head here, and we got 2 over her limits now. So we're going to have to throw a couple of them back into the water. And we've only been a little over an hour, just an hour since we got up here to limit out, which is 16. So we've had a good evening's fishing, and we'll take off and head down the lake there. We've got a slick lake to travel on. We've got about 2 miles to go back down to where we put in at. So we'll take the camera down for I can't operate it, and me on the go, and take care of it like it should be taken care of. Do we have a rough lake? Ron and Lindsay, his gal, baby gal with him, and got old Murd sitting there chomping on his jaws. He ain't caught no fish, really. He's just too mean, I guess. Well, we take a zoom in on Mount Baker here. Easy in. We're going to try our lake here in a minute. Young Lucky is out there. Later out on shore, we got going under, but we got pretty wet coming across. So we'll hang her up until our next fishing trip. We got Ron putting the boat on here. We got so much water in the boat, it wouldn't hardly come on. So I'm going to have to pull the plug before we can pull up out of there. So this is going to be the end of this lake of fishing for a while anyway. I'm going to hit Gorge, Diablo, and then the creek. So
Sing happy birthday.
the little sweet girl. We got her.
Saying happy birthday to her.
We got a little old sweet thing here. It's been a hip diaper at one time, and she grew up into a little old sweet girl. And how old are you now?
14.
14. Sweet 14 and never been kissed.
I don't know whether I'd bet on that or
She's
not.
No,
got,
I don't think I would either.
she's got me some cake here from her birthday party. So this will be something real fresh for a long time yet to come. Okay, here we are, fixing to take off on May the 21st for 4 days. We won't be back until Monday, and I hope to get some good deer pictures, Darrell and some friends were going to go to Kittle Falls, which is about another 200 miles farther from where we're going. And Dorothy didn't feel well enough to travel that far, or we would have went with them. But I hope to get some good pictures along the way. So we'll be taking pictures off and on all the way up through here. This is the first time I've took a picture of town, so what it'll turn out, I don't know. I tried it in the motor home, taking it going in the motor home, and so Dorothy just dumped her drink down her into her boobs. Look over yonder.
My God, what are they doing? Turning up somebody's flowers.
So have worked our hind ends off for the last 2 months, and we're gonna go and try to just sit back and enjoy it and rest up a little bit. I think we're going to get a lot of, I drove this old road for 17 and a half years when I worked at the cement plant up here, and I could shut my eyes at the house and drive it up. And all along up through here, that right here is a crossing ground for the deer and fire too. Right along here, we'll see the high as 8, 10 deer waiting to get across the road and to be let the slack spot come to be able to cross the river, but you don't see them anymore. We're almost in the concrete now. In the concrete now, and for a short distance here, we've got a 35-mile speed zone, and those cops are anxious to take your money, so I always drop under the speed limit to make sure that they don't get me. You can maybe see some of the old cement things up here. Cement tanks that they still there, and they're using them somewhat. Coming up on the river that comes out of those lakes that were fishing in the pictures behind, and it is used twice. It's got electricity taken out of it, as this woman thought one time, at 2 different times. This woman, she was at Ross, and they asked this guy if that water is any good after they took the electricity out of it. So it's still got this much force as it ever had. So I'm going to cut her off now and probably get her again around Water Mountain or up the canyon. Right up here, there's a guy making some pottery, and me and went in, well, they was nervy here and come down, and says, kill fresh pottery. And she said, she got on the CB and she said, Jim, if you'd have stopped there, I'd have bought us some fresh bread. And she thought it was hot cooked bread. I don't know, I think maybe that thing's been on for quite a distance here. So whenever we look at it, we'll know whether it has been or not. Rockport State Park, and you can see the backgrounds in yonder in the mountains, and there are lakes all over that. I've been to about 4 or 5 of them, and there are plenty of fish in every one of them. This is a stretch of the old growth right through here. It belongs to the school, and they probably never will log it unless it does blow down. It's the only close bunch of timber of this size that are still here. When I come here in '52, the road went in and out of these trees all the way up through here. And then the school sold this right-of-way through here, and the state put the highway in. Coming into Rockport now, you got signs taking off Darrington, Arlington, and the Skagit River just ahead of us here too. I come up in here and do a lot of fishing. Right up through here is we have set this aside from here to Moramount for the bald eagle. In the 50s and 60s, or first part of the 50s up to the first part of the 60s, there was just thick as a hair on a dog back. You can count at least 100 or 150 eagle on the river here are feeding the fish. And the fish is disappearing, and also the eagle. If they ain't got something to eat, they won't come in here. So it's crazy to set aside for the eagle sanctuary and then not have the birds to look at. These roads are just clogged with people looking at the eagles. Coming up on the Skagit here, and I've caught some mighty big fish right down through there. Used to be, that's the only place I'd fish. I'd come all the way up here and fish down to Rockport and then have somebody to bring me back up to get my truck, unless we had somebody bring another truck. I don't know whether you ever remember the Moonies, that religious bunch that killed that 300 or 400 there in Africa or somewhere. Well, the same bunch bought this property just back into the green trees yonder. Their road goes down in there, and they were going to build a Mooney camp here, a Christian camp. So there was enough of people against it that they knocked it in the head and didn't let them build it. And also, I think he got into the trouble too. Right up here at this, where them yaller signs are, is where Dorothy's brother got killed, or got electrocuted on that power pole there. Well, they shot, one of them shot the power line down while Jude was changing a flat tire, and there's 3 more up in the car. And so whenever the power line hit him, one got out to help him, and it got him. The other one jumped out to help them two, and it burned all 3 of them up. They were just like a meat skin from the electricity. But the 4th one didn't get killed. He jumped and run. Right here, their road takes right off over the bank there and goes into the river out there. And that's where I used to go into to start fishing. And I brought some of the fish out there that looked just like a skinned hog. We're coming into Marble Mountain now, and I haven't took any pictures, and the camera mounted here on between the seats on the tripod, and I just hope it's not too jittery. If it is, I'll just go back to the beginning of where I started out from and tape back over it. And any picture taken, I'll just have to let somebody do it by hand. Dorothy, she's not that good at it, or she thinks she ain't. She is, but she thinks she isn't. We're coming up on a forks in the river out here, and which is the Cascades. And I'm elected to take a crew and cut the trees, brush, and everything back off of the road, which they never have. And the trees just overgrowing and blocking the road out. And we've got about 42 miles of it up the Cascade River. And boy, there's some beautiful country in there. Maybe not this summer, but I hope to, is to get up in there and take some pictures with it, and so that you can see what kind of country we got to roam in. And this is the big town on Marble Mountain, Worsted.
Tell me, go across the bridge, turn right.
Yeah, you go straight ahead to go to the county road, which is about 40 miles of it, and this road here takes us to over the pass. I bear hunted all back in there on the left, back in the 50s. First bear I ever killed was up here. Coming up on a creek right here, which is Diopsy, the Indian name. And boy, you talk about trout, they're in that. All the way back into the foothills yonder. And this old motorhome, it is not a comfortable thing. Nobody can ever stick his hind end in. You just get in there and get her up to the speed you want, hit cruise control, sit back and hold her in the road and enjoy yourself. These power lines you see going through here, coming through here, was built with the WPA in the WPA days, the 20s and 30s. And this electricity that is being made is shipped all the way into California. And it's coming from all in three of those powerhouses above us up here. And if you remember, when you and old Slim was out here, right up here is the creek we come to bear hunting that time. It's called Bacon Creek. You see the Skagit River run on the right here. The first time I come up through here, it was just more or less a one-way road. And it was a railroad bridge, and the only thing that crosses the Bacon Creek. And you had to watch out for the train when you had to cross the creek here on the train, or on the railroad. The first bear I ever killed was right over on the left out here with a 22 pistol. And an old woman had a big house right there, just tore down and gone now. She had a big orchard. We up here coon hunting. Next morning at daylight, we hit the creek to go could, see if we strike a coon. This woman come out through there. We heard this little dog barking all night. And this woman come out through there, and boy, we thought we were going to get our tails chewed out. Hey! Hey! Come here! And went out there, and she had a double-bitted axe, and had, she caught these bear up in a tree, and she stand there with a double-bitted axe, and them bear up the tree. You'll see, she jumped out and run, and left the cub up there. So I went, the dogs run her way up on the mountain. And I went to her and killed it. Come back down there, and Dorothy's uncle Roy says, well, Hugh, you can go up there and us catch it. It's about a quarter-grown cub. Put that dog leash on it, we'll take it home with us, make fat out of it. So I got up in that tree, and that son of a bitch like eat me in the tree both up. I come down out of there, and I says, Roy, if you want that coon caught, or that bear caught, I says, right there it is, you go get it. So he went up the tree, and it made a dash at him, and I heard that 22 go, pack, down come the bear. And he wasn't supposed to shoot it, but he did. He was going to jump right in his face. Now we're on the, come back to the river here now. This is something that I wanted to do. I hope it turns out. I've traveled it so much that coming up here for the enjoyment of fishing and hunting, camping, and I wanted to get this on tape, so whenever it gets to where that I can't travel it, I can sit back and look at it. And I got my little old sweet doll over here alongside of it, and she's a point. This and that and the other, she won't say a damn word. She'll break her voice will break this voice box on this thing. This is one place I haven't tried fishing yet. We've got a lot of white water up this far, and I know I could make it through, but I've just never had the urge to tackle it. For I've got too much tied up in my boat and motor and equipment, and I don't want to take a change on losing it. I'll holler at my second kid here and see if he's on the way back here. How about there, Gravedigger? You got a copy? Yeah, you're all right. We'll be up in a bit. Yeah, we'll catch some nice fish after a bit. Right here, what used to be, well, it is yet, is my checkpoint. I'd always pull out right here and check the boat, cars, and everything over to see if everything was traveling good. And poor old Homer, the last time he was up here camping, we were up here, or we stopped there. We knew him and Clang was up here, so he pulled in there, him and Clang. And it was about his last time of camping. That's when Joyce was trying to leave him. And he was by himself, poor guy. And he turned around and went back with us. The Clang went on home. That's was Bonnie's husband. Well, we got some crooked roads up through here, but they've got them in pretty good shape. Boy, it's a slick son of a bitch up in here in the winter months. We're climbing altitude ever since we left the house. It was 98 feet above sea elevation, right there at the house. And we've got close to 2,500 here. Coming into New Halem now. And this is the city light on. And a lot of Seattle city light. And most all the workers for City Light has moved out. And the Park Service and this, that, and the others took over up here. But used to be, if you worked for City Light, you got a free house and all the electricity that you could use. Most all these trees here are blooming trees, and I guess the blooms is done and gone. See how they keep their lawn groomed, and they really go out for beautifying. And Darrell, he got an application the other day and turned in for a mechanic's job up here, and the guy that I used to work with at the cement plant is the soup up here. And so I told Darrell I'd call him and see if he could do anything about it. Well, he says, I'll tell you, he says, City Light, they go through the nationalities such as Indian, Mexican, colored, well, minorities, any minority. They go through all these nationalities when these jobs comes up. This is New Halem Power. That's the Gorge powerhouse over there. The water out of Gorge is the one that produces this. So old Mother Nature, Merrick says that the reason why Sunday is the Sabbath, that
God rested on the Sabbath.
He rested on the seventh day, for it took him a lot of hard work to make all these mountains like this. But you can see that it's took millions and millions and millions of years to cut this channel through here. And water is what had to do it. But you can't go to sleep and drive up through here. If you do, you'll wind up in the ditch. Now you see here, there ain't no water here to the right. It's all going through the powerhouse. So whenever the lake gets completely full, why, they will start dumping here. And the stupid people, their signs all along here, do not enter. Flash floods. And they will get down there and start picking up rocks, or even when there's pools down there, they'll go down and try to fish. And they get one or two people just about every year. Took many a year for it to cut through that channel through right there. And I seen it during my school days, what few days I went, and one of the books were in the Cascade Mountains, which is these, where they were a swinging bridge out around a rock cliff. And it's right up here, but we won't be able to see it. The road used to cross over and go up the other side, and you can see it from that side. But I'll show you.
Drove around this first time.
And it's right around the face of that rock out there. The old timers swung cable cable off the into them crevices of the rock and put a footbridge around the edge of the rock in order to get up through here. Or that was in the gold rush days. They had to blow this road. The railroad used to come up through here. Marble Mount, as far up as the road come, and then they brought all the material in here to build Gorge and Diablo. And then after they built Diablo, why they built Ross Dam. See, they put the material on the lakes and took it up to the face of the other one. No, I guess Gorge was the last one. Diablo was the one they built, and then hauled all the material up Diablo to build Ross. And then I guess they built Ross, or Gorge, the last one. This is Gorge Creek. It's about a good 200 feet to the down to the creek. And at the mouth of this creek, I have caught that boat full of fish in the back years. I haven't fished it so much in the last 2 or 3 years that I have in back of this, for we just get fish other places, and also they are concentrating on the Diablo Lake. They keep it stocked where they got the campsites on it. And right over to the right over here, across the lake, there's a trail that takes off and goes into the top of the mountain yonder to what they call Fox Lake. And it is overstocked with fish. And I just never had no means to go to it, or I can get all the fish I want out today here. It would be a good trip to take and see the country. But I just, at my age, I just don't think I want to tackle it. About 20 years ago, I went to mine. And right out here is our creek crosses right out here, and this is Dorothy and Hughes Creek. Me and Dorothy used to come up here and look out here at the deer. Deer standing right there at the side of the road. See it?
Oh! I didn't see it.
And anyway, you walk into the lake down there, and when you get them fish to biting, or you just load your basket up or whatnot. So me and her went down one evening. We'd come back from east of the mountains, and I asked her if she wanted to go down and catch a mess of fish. She said, yeah. So I thought it'd be good of coming up that creek. Boy, I had to take, the dog was with us, and I'd have to get on top of this rock, and I'd hand the dog chain down, and I'd pull the dog up, and then I'd pull her up. And she says, never, never again do I take off with you in a place like that. We should have went back up the way we come down. Now, this is Gorge Lake, straight ahead of us here. So we're going to go into our old camp spot up here and camp tonight, sleep over tonight, and then we'll get up early in the morning and go on over. We used to camp right along here all the time, and if the Park Service says no, This is the original timber here. The altitude has got it down pretty small. Yeah, fine. Felt pretty good over here. Ready to head on across the hump, and I hope to come into some good scenery when we get over there. We had a good night's rest last night, and we've already got the pictures from back of this up quite a ways. So I'm going to cut it off until we get up to where that we haven't took the picture. The lake is about in a nice shape that you can ever find it for fishing. And us, we didn't bring our boat with us. So we'll fish it some from the shore when we come back over Monday. We're not going to be able to get very many pictures going across this morning, but we got the sun right in our face, and today's the 5th, 22nd of 87. The mountain that we took the other day in the back picture here at back of the film turned out blurry. So this morning we got the sun against it, and it's just crystal clear. So in the morning or tomorrow when we come back, we'll probably have the sun to our back, and we'll get some good pictures out of it. We're going by where I took the picture of Ross Lake the other day, and I just noticed you can't get it in the picture where you're driving. That it's over 3/4 full, and it won't open until middle of June, and we walk down at various places and get into to do the fishing. But I never have done no good down there, but other people have gone all kinds of fishing. This is see the rock cliff here. There was about 2 outfits building this road through here. The road is made mainly out of solid rock. We've got one place coming up out here where we park and go in to walk down into the one of the arms that comes in off the Ross. And in the dating game, or not, dating game, no, newlyweds I guess it is, where they're talking about the whoopee all the time. Dorothy said if his flags stuck up at all her whoopee places, that it looked like Flagstaff, Arizona. But just kidding, I had to throw that in. Noticed on the speed zone sign here, they've still got this highway to 55. They haven't raised it back up. It might be they have raised it quite a. You can see some other snow slides come in here, feeds in off the mountain. You got one trailhead here that takes off, and the trail goes completely around Ross Lake, and they're about at least 50 miles of it. You know, if you remember, when me and you, Bueller, and all of us come up here, there was a big Park Service sign right here, and we stopped and took pictures of this. You might have some in your files right now. We've got a trailhead just ahead up here, and this is National Park, Canyon Creek Trail, and you can ride on horseback or walk for weeks on weeks. and never be on the same trail. We've got got a rock truck knocking the rocks off of the truck. That's state operated. And this creek that we're coming up to is Panther. I'll think of the name of it anyway in a bit. It's fly fishing only. We caught a lot of good fish out of it. Granite Creek. But the other one was Canyon Creek, and you can go as much as, well, you can come out over 60 miles east of here on that one trail. And after you get back into the high country, other trail takes off and goes in different directions. How much rock they had to plow through in order to get this road in here. It took them about 8 years to build this road. Pass in the background yonder, and this is about as pretty a scenery as anybody could ever think about driving through. This is our first trip over this year, but we usually travel it about 6 to 8 times or more each year, coming over, fishing, camping. If I could get a job over here as good as what I've got, I would move to Mars. I probably get to do a lot more of it, stay over in this country as soon as I retire, which is only 13 months away. You can see the mountain yonder that I indicated way back in the film there, the mountains that you're going through, so we're coming up on them now. Look, from there, where I was taking the picture, it looks as if you just run right up against the mountain, but this is a shore booyah in the distance, and also the area that you're looking into. It'll wind up into a canyon which has got millions and millions of miles or acres of open country. But you're into the high country now. We're close to 4,000 feet. Up the pass is 5,000. So we're gaining altitude the whole way up. And we've got trailheads just past one and coming up to another one where that you can hike for days and never get on the same trail. I think this blur in the dashboard here is going to come out in the picture. I hope it don't bother you too bad when I'm in the sunlight. We got some of the prettiest scenery in the Northwest here that anybody will ever want to look at. Got one guy here from California, a little bit bigger area than I am. I'm traveling the speed limit, but he must not have no speedometer indicator. We got this trailhead taking off right here, east past trail access, and you can come back out, go out over the top here and come in where we camp down below at the gorge. And also it will connect up on top yonder somewhere back in the back country with the Pacific Crest Trail, which runs from Canadian Rockies all the way into California or Arizona. We're getting pretty well up to the first pass, and told Dorothy she was gonna do the next talking when we turn this thing back on. She said, you're doing just fine. And this altitude, or the first smell that got her all plugged up, she is coughing like a sometime. She don't want to do no talking. I gotta check on my second kid back here, see if he's coming along all right. How about over there, Merc, you got a copy? Yeah, you're still alive, I guess. Well, we'll be out on top here in a few minutes. If there's quite a bit of snow up in the first pass, we'll stop firing. We've got one more hill to go here. Looks like we've got a little bit of snow left. It's not much as it was one year we come across here, and it was right even with the top of the vehicle. So it don't look like you're that much this time. Now we're coming up to the Pacific Crest Trail, which is out on top, and we've only got 1/10 the amount of snow that we normally have. So we'll pull over here and see if we can get the camp robbers to come in to us and get a picture of them. Oh, we just got less than 1/10. 2 years ago when we come across right here, we had right up above the winders. The camp robbers didn't show up. I don't know whether they've starved out and went out of here or what the hell. But normally if they're here, they'll come right up and take bread right out of your hand. Light on your finger and take the bread right out of your hand. So we're going to head on out here. We've got a group of Evergreen State College here, and just like a bunch of wild chickens when they turn them loose out of the lot. Coming up on another trailhead down here that goes into Lake Chelan, which is about 160 miles from home to that you drive around south in the southern part of the state. But it's all backcountry you can walk through. Anybody's got energy enough to do this, to travel, walk, it's a paradise. We're coming up on, I call it Hugh's Corner. I come across here, had a pair of slick treads on, and it had about 4 foot of snow. Somebody's wanting to die this morning. They passed me in a curve, and I lost control of the vehicle, and she headed over the bank right there, and I whooped her back, went in right into that snow bank, and Arnold, brother-in-law, he come behind and pulled me out. This is really a treacherous hill whenever the snow gets on here. Everybody's still trying to drive just like you do on dry pavement, and they'll get 2 too much speed on them coming down and lose control of it in that corner. I'll stop as I come back across, take some pictures of the hillside here. It's easier to stop the downhill cross than it is to go around the uphill. Coming up to another trailhead, which is Blue Lake Trail, and it goes right back into behind the high peak here. I've never been to it, but they say there's mighty good fishing in it. We're coming out on the top of the second pass, which is Rainy Pass. You can see all the debris that has been pushed up here from the machinery that has did this. But I see there's we've got a little sketch of fresh snow on here. It must have come in last night. So right here's the trailhead. We're coming up into the Rainy Pass, and as soon as we go through Rainy Pass here, we're in Okanagan County. We're leaving Skagit and Watkins County and going into Okanagan. And just look at them old peaks sticking up through yonder. Makes you wonder how she was developed. Now where we come in on Cedar Creek is right in behind this mountain. Go down about another 10 miles and then cut back and come through and under, right back around in behind this peak we're just coming up on here. Now the rest of the way is a downhill push. We drop altitude quite fast. Where we're going, you'll drop over 2,000 feet. See where the snow slides come off of the other mountain over yonder, and the trees just now growing back. We ain't got near the snow that we normally have along here. I just discovered that I run out of tape. If I'd have been looking through it, it would have told me when it was out, but we didn't miss too much on the tape. But I'll get her what I didn't get at another trip through. So I'm going to have to slack up on taking the pictures, for I want to leave enough of film for the deer and scenery over where we're going. Coming up on Cedar Creek Trail ahead, and that's where we come to and fish the creek. And we've had some of the most enjoyable outings and meals of trout fish that anybody could ever dream about. And we'll be back here in July, and I'll get pictures of it and also down in the creek fishing, I hope. Cedar Creek comes out of this canyon right to the right, and ain't nothing but a bit of goat fishing. And that's the reason why you can always get a mess of fish when you go in there. Nobody will go into it. It's so rough. We're coming into Winthrop now, and crossing the Chilliwack River. This is one of the oldest towns that is exist over here, and they try to keep it just as old a looking as possible. We're going to go over and fuel up, so we won't have to worry about it later. Just like the old cowboy towns. Some of the guys that used to come over here in the 30s and 40s said that if you got it caught in one of the roundups, you'd have to pull over and wait until maybe 300 or 400 head of cattle come right down the street here. That's the only way that they had transport, just drive them in a herd back to their home grounds. We've got the two good-looking ones coming through here. They've been into the store. They're walking it like a tar heel. Now we're headed back north. We'll go through Winthrop here and head north, and we've got about 20 miles to go up the Chewak River to get to where we're going to set the motor home up, and then we'll work out from there in Murray's rig. And this low town here, all it survives off of is the tourists that come in here. Before the summer's out, they've collected a couple of 3 million people on visit, and you can't afford to buy any souvenirs or anything. They just charge you so much you can't afford to buy it. So we'll be up into the near country in a short while. We got that little old sweet thing back here cooking us some breakfast. We got up and left this morning before we eat any breakfast over at the gorge, so she's cooking us. We stopped, got her some pork chops and sausage and steaks. We'll have a steaks tonight, but she's cooking us up a mess right now. We're headed up Chewak River now. We'll be leaving the blacktop, just well, you can see it right here. We're just on it. I'm sure we're going to have a rough road from here out, for they've been a trucking on it. But the trucks are to the right. I was talking to one of them on the CB, and they're hauling off of the road to the right. So we'll get up there and find a camp spot and go from that. This is an area that I always dream about. Come in here to camp and enjoy myself. A lot of people take the other direction, the cities and heavily populated area. And myself, I prefer this way of life. Camping and whatnot. You see the ponderosa timber. This is different timber than what we had on the other side. And this is something that I look at in years to come and cherish a great deal.
It's making too much racket.
We got a bunch of deer out here in the river. I'm going to try to get to where I can get a picture of them.
They're gone.
Yeah, I think I got him. I think I got him on there.
I don't know. You didn't get.
Well, you should have grabbed it yourself. This is Leroy here. It goes up, goes over the top of the mountain, travel that this evening, and come in on the other side. I'm sure we'll see a lot of deer on this. right here, me and Dorothy coming down, going to town or to hunting one, and an old female white-tailed deer standing in the road there with 3 little babies. Prettiest sight you'll ever look at. They had so many spots on them that you couldn't see the little, I mean, they was camouflaged. And before I got the truck stopped and the camera out, well, they was gone. But with this, well, I've got it on all the time, well, I could have got the pictures up. Right here to your left, there's a little road goes back in there. That's where we had the camp last year, where all the good campgrounds was already taken up. And I don't believe there were that many campers in here. We've got another mile to go before we find out. And so we might be able to camp in our old campground up here. We'll camp will last quite a few years. But it looks like don't have anybody down here. We've got her all by herself right now. There might be others come in. So you see how pretty and green this grass is? They must not have no cattle in here as of yet. Pretty soon, well, in another month, this grass will die right out.
Down there where Arnold camp.
This is where the bear come in and tried to take possession of us last year. And so if I live, I'll be back here for another year or in September for grouse season. This is the most enjoyable place that you could ever get into to camp and hunt. We have lots of fun here.
God, look what color that river is.
Get out there and watch. Just about the color of your pea.
Yeah.
We've got 2 planes that bombarding us here. They're way up there.
Yeah, he'll come back up big.
And well, maybe I can get a picture of them. This is their bombing range. There's one deer here on the side of the road. Hey! We'll probably see a lot more than this. That's nice mule deer. Here we've got 2 or 3 more down below the road. Don't move out. Well, you'd be still. You got a grouse sitting in here at the side of the road.
That little bird.
We got a grouse and a bunch of babies here. This is about like a little chicken. She's talking to them. Come on, fly. Bring the rest of them out here to where we can get a picture of them. In all my travel over here, this is the first hen that I found with the babies. She's got them hid now, though. There's one run across the road in front of me here. We'll see how close I can get up to her without her flying. It's a blue grouse. I'm not going to bother you. I wouldn't bother you for nothing. This is what we hunt in the winter months, or in the fall of the year. These little babies, they're just about size of chicks now. By the time September comes, they'll be as big as she is. Oh, this is something to look at. Son of a gun. She won't go off and leave her babies, though. You're clucking to them? Well, come on and bring them out here so I can see them. Well, come on down here, Dorothy. Come on down here, Dorothy. Sit up there like you got your teeth in your mouth. You're in the brush like that. They camouflage right in. She's got them hid. We're going to go on and leave her be. Walk up her to her and make her walk. She might come right here to me. Okay, well, that's enough for this time. Blow the horn.
Okay, right here. What's that?
Right up over the banks. Now they're all going back into the high country now, and have their babies, and they'll stay 3 months and back out again. Right here we got a buck. See, the horns just started. Now we got 2 or 3 more up on the hill yonder. That makes, that's 2 does. That makes, there goes the buck. We'll go on around above them up here and see if we can get them. That makes about 12 deer we've seen. We're out on top of the mountain now. I thought I'd get above the deer, but you can see how much grass we've got here, and that's the reason why. They're more or less a brush eater, though. And they go into the high country. Back where they go to has got more grass than what they are here. They'll travel for the next month to get in that back. We got 3 or 4 more standing up yonder. Yeah, I wish some bitches were a little closer so I'll get a better picture of them. You see one tiny and sticking around that pole. I'll move down just to... he ain't gonna move. We got one that's sticking his head through the brush way up on the hill yonder. Might get a better shot at it above the hill. That makes 13. That's a hill we just come from over there. And me and Darrell drove up here one morning, and right where that log is yonder, there's a deer standing there. And I bet there's been 100 vehicles went by. And I was so disgusted, and I looked across over there, the sun was just coming up. I seen this flicker. So I told Darrell I was going to give it a try. I got a 10 pair of binoculars and seen it was a buck. And I shot, and she rolled plumb into the canyon. There's another one down on the ridge.
Dang, look at it.
Get him, there's 4 of them. How many bucks?
Damn, we got a whole herd of them right here.
4 of them. God, look out
We
there.
don't see no babies.
Shit.
They got them hid or ain't had them yet.
Wait.
One of the two. Oh, what's going on?
That's the door. That's back in.
There, we got a whole bunch of them. There's about 4 or 5 standing right yonder together. Blow your horn. Yeah, I'll scare them. I want them to move. Well, blow it. Holler, get out there and just hit the side of your truck and make them go.
Hey, come down here.
That's pretty.
Boy, them big old, look at them ears. That's the reason they call them mule deer.
All those.
Yeah.
God, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19 years what we've seen. Leroy Peak, right in the saddle at the watering hole. And we kill grouse all over this in the road and in the brush too. Got another one that's standing on top of the hill up there.
There's more up there too.
Yeah, what's that? What's that? Bro? What's that? There's something else up right here.
That one got a broke down ear. She got one ear broke down, probably from was trying to get some salt. This is a salt lick here for cattle, and so they're trying to get some salt out of the ground. You deer pictures all evening or all morning and day, but right here is about the prettiest thing that you'll ever want to focus in on. Now you just look at that.
Honest to God.
How many was it? 3, 4.
Hold it.
Yeah, wait, they're coming back here. They're coming back here.
Run in about, hold it.
I'm gonna get in that house.
hold it.
You can't get them through that tent.
We
Look at
come
you.
around the curve here and there's about 15 in the road. And this is a mineral lick right here. And every time they come through by here, going or coming to the high country, they stop and get their belly full. They're like salt. Uh-oh. We got 4 standing right here on the bank. That makes about 25 deer we've already seen today.
Oh my goodness, about 10 deer there.
Yeah, and slap your legs or something, that'll make them run.
No. I got one.
Hey! Woo!
They ain't a bit scared of you.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. You'll notice there'll be some blurry in the picture, and when you're in the cab like that, it focuses itself. It's automatic focus, and it gets against that glass, she'll come out blurry. So I tried to catch it.
They must have been together.
Dorothy,
Look here, look right here.
Oh!
you got one right here in the road, little bit. Oh, that's. Jump at it, make it run.
No,
Jump at it, make it run.
it's there from the bush. Hey, I was coming towards you, though.
Come on, baby.
Look, there's another dog.
Get after it.
That's gone, doggy.
He must have been about 15 of those.
I've never seen
That's good. That's good.
You know, wouldn't that been pretty to
Oh,
walk
I
on the
tell
hill
you.
on that?
Oh, that would have been.
I'm glad to see this many deer. You can't see this many over on the other side, but I'm glad to see this many to keep her stock in progress. There's another one coming back down here to inspect what we're doing.
Good girl.
That's last year, then.
She's hunting for the other ones now.
Oh, they'll come back here to eat.
She's here.
Well, they'll get their belly full of this mineral before they go on. And she's going to hunt for the other one.
Oh,
We're at our old deer camp. We just pulled in here to check on her toilet. We got a portable toilet, and we use here and also at grouse camp. So you can see the ruins of her campsite here. They call them laterals. They put the deer on that and drag them out, but I never did use one myself. So we'll be back here, if we live, in October for deer hunting. We come right back to camp here, and there was 3 right at where we turned in. 2 of them went up the hill, and here we got 2 of them. Don't run back or go over me. There's your campsite down there. Boy, it's a pretty place here. For the evening trip, we've seen about good 35 to 40 deer, and so maybe we'll get some more tomorrow. I didn't get the pictures of all of them. This is the Chilliwack River. The reason I like to camp here where I do is here the running water. And in September, this will only be about half the size it is right now. It's down, but as soon as we get some more snow, heat, the snow will start melting. And this is a drainage of about a million acres, over a million acres. This is May the 22nd. We've only seen 2 deer. We've got one right out in the brush. I don't know if we can pick it up or not. And we're going into one of the areas where we hunt all the time, bird hunt it, and to see what's going on. And they pretty well logged the whole thing. So they select a log with a helicopter. Move ahead. This is the end of the road on Sawdust, and we thought we'd get to see some more grouse with babies, but they didn't. I used to come through the high country 4 and 5 miles through yonder and come out on the end of this road, hoping I would come out on the end of this road, not kill deer all the way through there. But this makes about 3 times that they've logged this since I've been hunting it. Before they logged it, it was big ponderosa staying all through here. And I see they've got everything marked to be logged again. It was